Something wicked this way comes.
Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is my movie review for The Tragedy of Macbeth. Let me know in the comments below, have you ever seen the Shakespeare, maybe a theatrical production of this? Maybe you were in a school play or college play, university play, maybe you put on the play yourself of this one. What do you know? Do you like it? Is it one of your favorites? Or when it comes to Shakespeare, do you just go, nah, I can't be handling that old-timey-wimey English, man. Anyway, let's jump in. A Scottish lord becomes convinced by a trio of witches that he will become the next king of Scotland, and his ambitious wife supports him in his plans of seizing power. Directed by Joel Coen, we just have the individual brother this time. I believe it's the first time they're directing, well, Joel Coen is directing without his brother. So I was interested to see what he would do without his brother, and quite frankly, it's phenomenal. I do feel like there's two camps of people. One of people that love watching Shakespeare, love Shakespeare's language, and will go into be watching the theatre productions, the movies, anything that is Shakespearean, you will like, yes, that is for me. And then there's others, a lot of people just don't like Shakespeare, mostly because they don't understand it. You'll understand some of it, but the actors in this film, the adaptation of it, might draw you into it going, should I give this a go? What I like about the visual representations of Shakespeare, especially when it comes to moving image, it showcases what's going on with the language. So sometimes if you don't understand the language quite, you will get what's happening because of the visual storytelling of that. So you, for the most part, I feel like even if you don't know Shakespeare or you don't know the language or like what the words mean, you will be able to decipher what it is 95% of it because of the storytelling device, which you'll probably go, yay, because that's what I was worried about. And then you have the top tier actors that are on this. And I don't mean Hollywood top tiers, I just mean quality. Sometimes there's a disparity there. Well, everybody has their own kind of understanding of what is their favorite actors, and because of we're all different, we're not all sheep, we like different things. And so here we have Frances McDormand, we have Denzel Washington, but for me, the outstanding actress in this film is Catherine Hunter. She plays the witches. She doesn't actually have a lot of on-screen time, but whenever she is on screen, between the costume design and the dialogue, the way she performs is fantastic. If you remember Les Mis, the film adaptation, one of the recent ones, and we had an actress there that had 11 minutes of screen time, and she won the Oscar for that. And it was the only time, well, not the only time, one of the few times I was cheering, going, yes, that moment, those 11 minutes, I know you're going to win the Oscar for it, and she did. I feel like that's going to happen here with Catherine. I'd be very surprised if she isn't nominated and Devon didn't win. For me, like the award ceremonies have lost their value of late, but there are some times that they just showcase a variety of talent that sometimes goes amiss, or people don't get elevated to a standing of where people can go, oh, this actress hasn't actually been shown in the limelight, but if you look at their history and their skill set beforehand, it's taken them a long time. They haven't just done this one film and suddenly become, look how amazing I am. Normally, people who get these awards have done 30, 40 years beforehand. Some, there are the anomalies, and sometimes you get those actresses or actors that do the individual moments and they're great. But for me, this is an actress that I feel like needs to kind of be pushed up and say, hey, look what she's capable of. Maybe you don't know of her, but if you go and have a look at what she's been involved in, you'll be like, damn, she is an amazing actress. And I think that's probably the sure story of a lot of people in Hollywood and around it and outside of Hollywood. They're just doing quality stuff, but sometimes we just don't get to see it. And that was my roundabout of weighing and saying definitely worth watching just for horror moments, because sometimes you watch a piece of acting that will get your hairs to stand up on the back of your neck, and you'll be like, wow, okay, I was riveted. I want to go back and see a performance. There's movement in the body, the delivery of the lines, the showcasing of how it's shot, so you get to feel every emotional beat and the creepiness of the shots. The whole film is shot in black and white as well, an aspect ratio of 4:3, well, squared ratio. And so it really adds to you're watching something different. It reminds me a little bit of the lighthouse, the way it's shot. It feels like it could be a stage play without a doubt, but then you also get these really interesting sets that are quite lavish, but also feel like they're stage props. And so you could take this and put it on the stage. It was obviously meant for theatre originally because that's where it came from, from Shakespeare's mind to put that on the theatre. And so now we have this adaptation that feels theatre but also is standing out because of what they're able to do with the visualness of it. And then we have Denzel just doing Denzel. We have Frances McDormand performing the wifely duties in that role of Macbeth, who, was twisting Macbeth's mind. And then we have Denzel just doing some of the best monologues you're likely to see. And you're like, that's why you're Denzel, because you're so damn good. And so we have other actors in here. It's a top tier acting list of a showcasing of, look, guys, just in case you forgot that we were awesome, this is the film for you to go and do that. But I do feel like asking a lot from people that don't necessarily enjoy Shakespeare to go and pay money at the cinema to spend your time. Well, it's an hour and 45 minutes, so not too long, to go and watch Shakespeare. But I do think it's also worth your time. It's coming out on Apple TV on the 14th. So if you don't want to do that, maybe it's worth your time. If you've never actually watched a Shakespeare because you've always been put off with the language, I think this would be a nice kind of introduction. I say nice, it's a very dark story. It's very entertaining that way. But kind of showcasing what it is. There are some lines you're just going to get that is self-explanatory. And then there's some that are going to be explained by what's going on screen. And then by the time you got to the end, you've watched something of worth, that it is told brilliantly, that is shot amazingly. The cinematography is so atmospheric, every shot purposeful to what's being told on screen. So there's some films that you go and going, yeah, I know this is going to be brilliant. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy it. So for me, watching this as a one-time watch, brilliant. I don't know if I would want to go and watch it again anytime soon. That doesn't mean it isn't excellent. It just means that it is a lot to chew. There's Shakespeare going on in my head. There's monologues I would love to watch again that I probably will go back. Watching the Witcher, that's a different series. Going to watch the witch scenes just for those Oscar moments. I don't know if Denzel would get nominated. Francis might. This is the type of film that does get nominated by Oscars or award ceremonies, but I just think it was quite a ride. It's a visual storytelling epic piece that I thoroughly enjoyed, but I also only want to watch once. Does that make sense? So for an expertise film, I would give this straight up 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5. I don't think it was perfect because I don't think it appeals to everyone, but it also is a fantastic film, and I don't know what I would change. For that reason, I should give it 5, but I just can't quite give it that. I don't know why. So I'm going to stick with the 4.5. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Shakespeare? Do you love Shakespeare? Were you going to give this a go? Now that it's on Apple, will you give it a go? Give me your rating down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.